Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jared. I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'll be really honest, this is the very rare second take. The first one was like 15 minutes long, and I was like, well, nobody's fucking listening to that. So I'm remaking this. And I know you're all going to be like, well, ain't nobody going to say shit, but people are going to be like, no, post the longer version. Yeah, right. So I wanted to say this in a video that isn't like a live. Um, they're not able to collect the tariffs at the places that you collect tariffs, like at the ports where the ships full of goods land. They don't have the infrastructure, and I don't want to lead with that. I wanted that to be the end part. Like, we don't have the infrastructure in place for this. Like, we can't bring manufacturing back if you didn't build factories. But even worse, you can't lay tariffs if you don't have a functioning computer in that little one-man shack where they have a non-functioning till, right? And it might have power to it, so you could run a heater and charge your cell phone. But it's not like there's an app that you pay tariffs on. It's not like infrastructure. It's not like, again, like that's a fancy till. Infrastructure. It's not like you could just pay ahead. Infrastructure. None of that shit's there. So the tariffs is just smoke. It's absolutely insider trading, market manipulation, but in terms of actually being taken seriously, it's not. It's price gouging. It's always been price gouging. It's capitalism. Donald Trump is doing exactly what his handlers want him to do. So again, in order to, people have said like he's laying tariffs because he wants to bring manufacturing jobs back to the United States. Cool. Where are all the factories being built? Oh, we're going to revive coal. Where is all the coal mines being built? We're going to invade our allies for their resources instead of just trading for them? Okay, Don. I think that they should pass a law called Thank You, Donald Trump. And they say, like, the President of the United States' job is not to lay tariff or to impose tax. That's not his job. Remember that the reason that he is substantiating laying tariffs is because of he's declaring the IEEPA Act of 1977, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. And keep this in mind that the reason that he's substantiating laying these tariffs is Donald Trump is saying, we're in a trade deficit. We've been in a trade deficit since 1975. So it hasn't mattered in 50 fucking years, Don. And it matters now. And the tariffs from that act are also supposed to be reciprocal, equal. So, when you originally saw the video of him with the board with all the countries' names and the tariffs on them, the numbers are supposed to be equal. Reciprocal tariffs. That's literally what reciprocal means. That's not open for interpretation. Neither is declaring a national deficit as a national emergency. So understand, it's pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. This is the most clear abuse of power that I could imagine in my lifetime. And understand that the tariffs aren't being collected. They don't have the infrastructure to do that. The factories aren't being rebuilt. High-paying manufacturing jobs are not coming back to the United States because they never existed. They got exported to fucking China because China does not have labor laws and they pay people nothing. And oh, by the way, it's time you start doing research about Donald Trump's in Dubai. and what they did to workers in Dubai. I watched a video, read a story, watched a documentary. In Dubai, Donald Trump has a resort that is, he essentially has modern day slavery. Long story short, they're housed poorly, and their cost for housing exceeds what they get paid per day, and they don't have documentation to be able to leave, so they work. That's what Donald Trump is effectively trying to do, except the billionaires have said, well, if you'll let us get away with everything, then we'll build prisons and we'll jail our political opponents and silence dissent. That's what we need to be talking about. People want to talk about martial law and what happens when he declares martial law and the military runs everything. The military is not moving. The military would be getting in position, lubing it up. Makes sense? There's no lubrication. There's no preparation. There's not large amounts of troop movement. So you don't see me saying like, oh, he's going to declare martial law. He can do that shit all he wants. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. Doesn't mean the military jumps. That's not how that works. The United States government, the president in the United States government, the U.S. president cannot declare war against his own people. He cannot send the military against his own people. It's against the law. President of the United States is the commander-in-chief, and he's subject to UCMJ. It's a different set of laws. Don't pretend to know, especially if you did not serve in the military. Don't pretend to know what the UCMJ contains and what the commander-in-chief, what laws they're subject to that don't have nothing to do with his immunity as president. It has to do with you being commander-in-chief. And he's getting dangerously close. Why do you think he doesn't get out there and talk about military activity? They just do it via signal. Right? So anyway, I'll be live 8 a.m. Hope to see you there. This video is about half the length. Yeah, this is where I wanted to be. Anyway, have a good rest of your day. I just wanted to say that out loud. Like, literally, we do not have the infrastructure in place to collect the amount of tariff that Donald Trump is trying to lay. It's like right in front of your face. Like, we cannot even take their money. What a dumbass.